From a manager sprinting 50 metres to celebrate a goal, to a team overcoming a 4-0 first leg deficit, and another team scoring twice in injury time to snag the trophy, the UEFA Champions League is the pinnacle of club football in Europe. And as you can imagine, it has given us many great moments over the years. Moments so incredible, you'd think they were made up if they weren't caught on camera. These are the greatest moments in Champions League history. And where better to kickstart things than with Real Madrid, the absolute kings of the competition. Back in 2018, the Spanish Giants were gunning for their 13th UCL title, and Liverpool were the ones trying to spoil the party. But Gareth Bale was having none of it. The Welsh wizard scooped the ball out of the air and into the net to stun the Merseyside Reds. Just in case Liverpool had any ideas about a comeback, Bale struck again in the 83rd minute to seal the deal. Now that's how you crush a team in the UCL final. But speaking of crushing opponents, let's talk about Kaka in the 2007 UCL semi-final. Back then, AC Milan was steamrolling teams in the Champions League, and this Brazilian magician was the centre of it all, scoring crucial goals and pulling off dazzling moves on the pitch. And this was the case during the first leg of the 2007 semi-final tie against Man United, where Kaka scored 2 goals, including a beautiful solo strike. After receiving the ball from Dida, this sleek playmaker danced around 3 United players like they were training cones, before passing the ball into the net as if the goalkeeper wasn't even there. What a player! 4 years after Kaka strolled through United's defence, Lionel Messi did something similar against Real Madrid. The diminutive Argentine got the ball near the centre circle and wiggled past 5 players before beating Iker Casillas with a beautiful strike. Now, as one of the GOATs of the game, Messi has many great moments in the UCL. Like this filthy nutmeg on James Milner that made Guardiola go crazy, and the humiliation he handed to Jerome Boateng that eventually became a viral meme. Of course, we cannot forget the 5 goals he scored against Bayer Leverkusen in 2011. However, that goal against Real Madrid was special, and that's why it's regarded as one of the most memorable moments in UCL history. But CR7 fanboys would argue it's not as memorable as their hero's 40-yard free kick against Arsenal in the semi-final of the 2009 Champions League competition. I mean, can you blame them? The set piece was so far out that even the commentator thought it was impossible for him to hit the target.
5 yards and more. Too far for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh!
But as he would come to find out a few seconds later, nothing is impossible for Cristiano Ronaldo to do on the football pitch. Up next, we've got Mesut Ozil, the German wizard who earned worldwide recognition for his playmaking skills. For many years, Ozil was the undisputed assist king in the world of football. However, in November 2016, he weaved his magic wand and scored one of the most memorable goals in UCL history. Nah, that was ice cold from Ozil, but it's definitely not as savage as our next entry. So, it was the second leg of a round of 16 UCL tie between Porto and Manchester United in 2004. Despite both teams giving their all, the game looked set to end in a 1-0 win for United. But, in the 90th minute, Costinha scored to level the game and send Porto into the next round. And you know who's loving every minute of it? None other than Mourinho himself, the master of mind games. Once the ball hit the net, he took off like a rocket, sprinting 50 metres down the touchline. Talk about rubbing salt on an injury. Moving on now to the quarter-finals of the 2016 Champions League, when Barcelona did the impossible against PSG. Down 4-0 from the first leg, Barca needed a miracle. And they got one. They raced into a 3-0 lead at half-time, and despite PSG's strike in the 62nd minute, they pulled off a stunning comeback, scoring 3 more goals, including a last-gasp winner by Sergi Roberto. At the end of the game, PSG fans were left sulking as they blamed the referee for awarding 2 controversial penalties to the hosts. In fairness to them, their complaints were probably justified. But Atletico Madrid fans had no one to blame when their dreams of winning the UCL were crushed by Sergio Ramos in 2014. Atletico had bullied their way through the tournament, with some excellent defensive displays, and as expected, they deployed the same tactics against Real Madrid in the final. Aside from keeping the attacking talents of Real Madrid quiet, this robust defensive style also got a goal for Diego Simeone's men in the first half. From then on, they parked the bus, the train, and every other heavyweight automobile they could find. But in the 94th minute, their impenetrable defence was breached by a thumping header from Sergio Ramos. And from then on, Real Madrid ran the show, eventually winning 4-1 to clinch the trophy. It was an iconic moment in the club's rich history, but clearly, it would never have been possible without that decisive header by Ramos. Just like Liverpool's incredible comeback against Barcelona, which wouldn't have been possible without Trent Alexander Arnold's corner taken quickly moment. Having lost 3-0 to Barcelona 1 week earlier, and going into the return leg, Liverpool lost Mohamed Salah to injury. Usually, when a team is in this position, it's almost certain that they will be knocked out. And with their talisman ruled out of the game, Liverpool's chances of making it into the next round were literally zero. No one believed they could pull off a surprise. Well, no one except for Salah, who showed up for the game wearing a t-shirt with the words, "Never give up." Well, apparently the Egyptian king saw the future, because as soon as the game started, Liverpool pummeled their guests from Spain. Belgium striker Divock Origi opened the scoring in the 7th minute, before Georginio Wijnaldum scored 2 quick-fire goals a few minutes into the hour mark. By now, Anfield was rocking to its foundation, but in the 79th minute, the atmosphere became electric. Trent Alexander Arnold produced some quick-thinking heroics to find Origi from the corner. The Barcelona defenders fluffed their lines there, just like the Bayern Munich defenders did at the 1999 Champions League final. So, Bayern got their noses in front in the 6th minute when Mario Basler struck a beautiful free kick. The rest of the game was end-to-end as Manchester United tried to force their way back into the game. However, luck eluded them until Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came on in the 80th minute to spark a remarkable comeback. Teddy Sheringham started the process with a half-scuffed shot that sneaked into the net in the 90th minute. Within a split second, the ball was lobbed into the box again and Solskjaer touched it into the net. It was an unbelievable moment, one that won United the treble and set them on the path of dominance. 5 years after this madness of a game, Liverpool pulled off what is regarded as the greatest comeback in sporting history against AC Milan. It was the final of the 2005 Champions League, and the Italian giants raced into a 3-goal half-time lead thanks to a strike from Paolo Maldini and a brace from Hernan Crespo. At this point, it was all gloom and doom for the thousands of Liverpool fans who travelled to Istanbul to support their team. But 3 goals in 6 minutes, contributed by Steven Gerrard, Vladimir Smicer and Xabi Alonso, brought Liverpool back into the game, before Jerzy Dudek's heroics during penalties won the Redmen the game, and ultimately, the UCL crown. Today, that iconic game is known as the Miracle of Istanbul, and you can understand why. Alright folks, that's all for this trip down memory lane. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.